So let's say that with this style of catapult, you didn't want to do this style of catapult and you wanted to do one that was longer, or you needed to use multiple popsicle sticks. There is a lashing that you can tie that will join your popsicle sticks together. And if you keep on tying those lashings, you could make however long you want it to be. You just have to use the correct lashing. And the lashing that you would use is a little bit different than the other ones. So the lashing you would use with this one's called a round lashing. Usually lashings start with clove hitches. I'm not gonna start with a clove hitch, you really don't have to, right? But you just get your, there we go. You just get your string, right? And it's just the exact same thing as the other one, except this time what you want to do is you want your sticks to overlap a little bit, like 1.5 inches or 2 inches. You don't want the sticks to overlap too little because it's not going to be effective. And then if you overlap them too much, that's also not going to be effective because you're not using the popsicle stick well, right? So you want it to overlap about this much. And what you're going to do is you're just going to start off just like the last ones. You want to tie a knot on them, a double knot. This time though, you're tying it on both of them, and this is when it would be wise to have a partner. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna pull it tight. You'll have a partner stick their finger here in the middle of this thing, holding it. It's a little bit more difficult with one person, but you can do it with one person. And then you just tie the second knot. That's where the double knot comes from. And it's really important that that starts off super tight. It's incredibly important that it starts off super tight. And then your excess, you can just cut a little bit of that excess off. You do want a little bit of a tail hanging off, but not much, okay? And then this one's actually a lot of fun. The other ones are fun, but this one's really fun because it's super satisfying. And after that, all you're gonna do is this. You're gonna take your string and you're just going to, you do it so tight you think the string's about to break, but you just sit there and you wrap your string. And you wrap it right next to each other. And remember, the whole time you're pulling on that yarn so that you think it's about to break, just like any other one you do. And you just wrap it, and you wrap it, and you wrap it, and you wrap it. And what's important about this one is that you are wrapping it as tight as you can possibly wrap that blasted thing. Because if it's loose, this is not going to hold, and everything's gonna fall apart. That's the same thing with all the other knots. And you just sit there, and you wrap it side by side until you get to the very end, or toward the end, right? You wanna have a little bit of space. And so I'm pretty close to the end here, right? And so what I'm gonna do is just the same as the last ones. This one's incredibly important that you do it like 3 or 4 times. So I'm gonna go over my thumb, underneath, and you're gonna pull it through, and you're gonna pull it tight. And I promise to do it at least 3 times. More than 3 times is beneficial. And then you pull it through, super tight. Pull it through. There we go. And the trick is just making it tight, and then you can cut it off so there's a little bit of a tail there. But you'll actually notice that you can do a bunch with it and it stays, and you can pull on it. And if you do it right, you can pull on it a pretty decent amount and it's not gonna come out. It's not gonna come out. And then that's how you would extend it. So like if you wanted like one of these, but you wanted it longer distance, then you could do this, and then you could tie those together like that. Right, so that is all the tools that you need to be able to tie effective knots for your catapult.